Welcome, fans, to UC Bearcats on the Prowl, part of the Gruel and Truth Radio Network. As always, with me is Mark Fightmaster. Mark, what have the Bearcats been up to?
Well, I'm assuming a little bit of practice. They were off last week, so they got a bye. And a really good time. It's the exact halfway point of the season. 6 games down, 6 wins down, and 6 to go. So they were getting ready for this weekend's game against Temple, and it's at Temple. So a bunch of road test. But of course, the last time they had a conference road test, they beat UConn 49-7. So we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, this is where the wheels fall off. Everything goes downhill, and we're 0-6 the rest of the way. So on the bright side, we're still going to make that bowl game, but on the bad side, we're going to be 0-6 out of the next 6 games. I was going to say Temple has beat us the last 3-4 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so they've beaten us the last several years. We're playing at their place where we have a poor record. And then of course the ghost of Calbert Chaney will haunt us again. So it's all over.
Yeah, exactly.
I say a little tongue in cheek, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than the UConn game, obviously.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, if you look at Temple's defense, they've got a better pass defense than the Bearcats have. So I think the Bearcats are 8th overall, and Temple's in all of college football for pass defense.
Yeah.
But is that UC's strength? No. I mean, they can throw the ball, but they really make their, they do their business on the ground. And Temple's rush defense isn't as good. It's 92nd in the country. So I think if UC is going to win this weekend, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to do it running the ball and using that run to set up the pass with some play action.
Very true. Yeah, I was going to say, like you said, Temple, they got a solid defense. They're just not great against the run, which is fortunate for UC because Warren has done an amazing job this year for him.
Yeah, he has. He's really developed well, and that offensive line in front of him is doing a great job. So
and I believe most of them are on the younger side on the offensive line.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe one senior. I'm not 100% sure, so I'd have to look it up real quick, and I don't have the page open in front of me. So, but I believe they.
So that's good news. I was going to say that holds well for the future. Let's see. So far with the conference, obviously UCF with another exciting win. Temple, which is funny because, like we said, they're 4-3, but they're 3-0 in conference. So,
exactly. Exactly. I think that non-conference win that they had was against Maryland.
Yeah. So they're not bums. I was going to say that's one of those things that UC fans will look at the schedule or not the schedule. They'll look at the 4-3 record and go, "Oh, we got this. It's a guarantee. It's a lock." Like, no, it's not a lock. Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot to it. Now, obviously, UC is undefeated, and of course, right behind UC is USF. So there's a lot of good things going on in the conference, or just a lot of beating up on ECU and UConn. Right,
yeah. So got the 2 also-rans, and then you got basically. It's a 4-team race, and the thing is, Temple, their overall win-loss, like you said, they're 1-3 outside of conference.
Mm-hmm.
So
but you bring up a good point. I mean, if their one win is against Maryland, that's not a bad win. I mean, anytime you beat a Big Ten school, it doesn't matter if it's the best team or the worst team in the Big Ten. It's still a Big Ten team.
Well, right, but then also look at their losses. They lost to Villanova.
Yeah, that is what? Villanova has a football team?
Yeah, that's a bad loss right there for them. And then they also lost to Buffalo.
I really did not think that the teams in the Big East had football teams. I really did not know that.
Yeah, I think Villanova's like one AA, like FCS. They're in the championship.
Oh, okay, so like
division.
KU and that kind of thing. Okay,
yeah,
that makes more sense now. Yeah, because I know most of the teams in that conference don't have football teams. I mean, Xavier used to have one, and oh gosh, I mean, just any of the other ones there. I didn't think St. John's and all them. Yeah, you don't really think football, you think basketball.
Right. Yeah. So it's I mean, they do have. Like I said, it's just like the old Division I AA. So, but I mean, still, that's a loss to a 1 AA school.
Yeah, that's never good.
Yeah,
and then and then UC, I mean, is doing quite well in the polls. I mean, they're number 20. So I mean, they got some good stuff going for them.
Well, you know what? They're one of only like 8 or 7 unbeaten teams. So, that's good. They're getting the national attention. I mean, they moved up because, the likes of Oklahoma and those schools losing, that helped them.
Exactly. And it's looking good for the conference as well. I mean, having UCF at number 10 and then having the, UC and South Florida at 20 and 21 respectively. I mean, that really means a lot.
It does. And while there's some one-loss teams above Central Florida, they're from the big conferences. I mean,
exactly.
Well, we got a one-loss LSU, a one-loss Michigan, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma. They all have one loss, but I mean, come on, those are perennial teams. So
exactly.
It's it is good for the conference. And then what? I mean, South Florida is, depending on the poll, they're one above or one below UC. So
yeah, that is kind of the interesting thing, that there is such a dramatic points switch on those two. I mean, I get it if they were, 20 and 21, and it was a difference of a couple points. But I mean, there's almost 100 or 98 point difference in the one poll, between the two teams, and the other one. Okay, and the other one, that one makes more sense. I was going to say, in the Associated Press poll, it's a 1 point difference, but in the coaches poll, it's a much bigger gap there. That seems odd.
Yeah, the thing is about the coaches poll, a lot of times it's not always the coach who fills it out.
That's true. That is the fun part about the coaches poll, where it's like, you do the voting for me because I don't really care what the other teams are. Just as long as you don't vote for Team X, it's all good.
Right, yeah, you got a sports information director somewhere filling out a top 25 for the coach. So
exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot going on with the football, it seems, with the big game coming up against Temple and kicking off that second half to the season. So, And then, of course, there's also a lot going on with basketball.
Yes, there is.
Tomorrow night at Princeton High School, 7 p.m., and you can donate to Coaches with Cancer, which is always nice. It's going to be a scrimmage. I really enjoyed the scrimmage last year at NKU. I thought that went over quite well. I wonder if it's because with Fifth Third they're waiting to save the big unveiling. Is that why they're probably not doing the event there this year?
Yeah, I would assume so. I would think they're opening it with Ohio State, and they want that to be the big unveil. So I guess just, and plus takes it to a local high school, and which is good for recruiting for Mick. I don't know who's it. Exactly. Not up on the high school basketball scene around here, but I'm
kind of curious if they have a guy that UC's interested. Is that why they picked Princeton over Elder or wherever else? Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. So who knows?
Exactly. That would be kind of some interesting inside dirt or inside info. But, it's going to hold about 2,500 fans, so definitely if you're interested in going, go early. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah. will provide a voucher for one free Skyline Coney at event courtesy of fans are encouraged to move early for specials for each fan enters area will be yeah, so yay! So if you go, you get a free Coney voucher.
There you go.
That's worth it right there. Yep.
That's awesome.
And then, as always, it's nice to see UC and Skyline working well together.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that'll transition into UC or Skyline being in the media room, which actually I don't know if they'll probably won't have a media room since it's at Princeton. But, yeah, and then, of course, from there, they in the email they sent me about that, they sent about their big, pick 3 plan, UCLA, UConn, SMU, Wichita State, and Memphis. You can pick 3 of those games and the upper sideline for, yeah.
I would say if I had to pick 3 out of that, I would definitely have UCLA, and I would definitely have Wichita State. And then
I agree with
the other one,
yeah.
Who knows? Can't go wrong, though. It's going to be a great place to watch a game.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal. Yeah, and then on top of that, those games, I mean, obviously you got the Ohio State one and Xavier. So it's going to be some great games this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and then, of course, because I'm biased, didn't even list the most important game of the year, NKU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly, when NKU shocks UC, that is going to become the biggest rivalry in town, and eclipse the UC Xavier. Okay, no, I can't even say that with a straight face. We're going to lose to. Yeah, it's going to be. We'll put a good game, but we're going to lose. Yeah.
Is that at UC or NKU?
That's at UC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, though. Just NKU's doing well, in their conference. I think it'd be great for the city.
It is. I agree with you. I think it's still going to be really nice to have that game and just, building those rivalries and building those connections between the schools, I think is a great thing. And with obviously it being at the new Fifth Third Arena, because that was the funny thing. That was one of those things that I was joking about last year with a lot of people saying, well, since UC came here and played at our arena for a whole season, why don't we get to go to play at their arena? And it looks like it's going to work out. So that's good news.
Hey. Yep. Yeah, it'll be good.
So, yeah, so got a lot of good things going on with UC sports, it looks like.
Yeah, and Jaron Cumberland was named to some watch list for, I think, like the John Wooden Award. So, there's a lot of good stuff going on, and it'll be a fun basketball season. It's going to be a little bit different team, I mean, this is first time without Gary Clark, and we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. No Gary Clark. No, is Kyle Washington back?
No. As a matter of fact, I saw he's playing in Turkey.
Oh wow. Yeah. So with losing both those guys, that is going to be a challenge. But like you said, Cumberland and some of the other players are going to step it up and take it to the next level.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good for him.
Any final thoughts, Mark?
No, just let's get the win this weekend.
Sounds great. So for James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster on UC Bearcats on the Prowl, signing.